Hello, friends. My name is Josh, and welcome back to the Life Reset Collective. Today, I'm talking through a concept that I'm going through literally right now in my life reset, my second life reset, which is when you're frustrated with where you are and you want to get to the next stage of life. Sometimes this can feel very overwhelming, and I'm just going to talk through this, and I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm going to be very frank with you. It is day 17 of my goal to completely reset my life in 2026. It is January 17th as of the time I'm filming this. And basically, I had to embark on a total life reset in 2025. In early 2025, I began the process of divorce in my marriage. This is the second time I've had to reset my life, hence why I started this channel, to provide help, support, practical steps, and empathy and understanding for people who are going through a life reset. There are many reasons why you might go through this, maybe due to divorce, maybe you lost your home, maybe you got an illness diagnosis, maybe you lost your job, maybe you lost a loved one, right? There can be a lot of reasons for why we have to reset our lives. This can look different for everyone, but when you're going through it, you know it. And if you're here because you're going through a life reset of some kind, and you are frustrated with where you are, and you are trying to figure out how to deal with that, cope with that, getting to the next stage, friends, I'm right there with you because that's what I'm going through right now. And let me just give you a little bit of information about what I'm going through. And I want you to leave me a comment. I want you to let me know the circumstances that you're going through right now. Type that comment while you're listening to this video. And I hope that by listening to this and by leaving me a comment and kind of venting a little bit, maybe we can get some communication going. Maybe you can find a way to feel a little better about your situation that you're going through. I'm also going to give you the practical tips and steps that I'm using to deal with this because I have been here before and I do know what this feels like. And I also know how to conceptualize the process of going through it. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So I felt this way when my divorce was actually going through the motions. It was hell. I mean, relatively speaking. Obviously, there are worse things to go through than divorce, but suffering is relative, friends. If you're going through a terrible thing, you probably feel terrible about it. Thus, it's a terrible thing. We're not here to minimize what you're going through. I do want to try to have gratitude for the things that are not as terrible as they could be. But let's be honest, sometimes things are not fun. And a life reset is not necessarily one of them, okay? It's characterized by great excitement about what could be, but it's also characterized by a lot of dreariness and drudgery, trying to get through the day to day, okay? So I went through this when I was going through the actual divorce. Once I filed for divorce, I was making the lawyer payments, lots of things going on, lots of conflict within the relationship. Obviously, the relationship was done. I moved out. I separated myself from the situation, but there was still conflict constantly coming at me. And so this is kind of a thing, this was miserable. I just wanted to be done with it. And I wanted to be done with the lawyer payments, even though I had a great lawyer. Let's be honest, nobody wants to go paying a bunch of money for a lawyer. So it was just such a long and difficult process. And when I was in it, I would often feel oh my God, I cannot stand this place. I want so bad to get out of this. I want so bad to get to the next chapter. I want so bad to get to a better place than this, to what is next. I cannot wait to just get done with this chapter, right? So it's this drudgery, this just grinding every single day, feeling like the days are going by in just excruciating slowness because you're stuck in a situation that you just hate it, right? It's just a soul-killing, grindy, just awfulness, right? And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, okay? So, when I was going through that, I felt like it was never going to end. That's often how these bad situations feel when we're going through them. They feel like they're never going to end. Now, I want to compare this to another situation I'm in right now. Now, fast forwarding, I'm done with my divorce. Now, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I'm going to talk about some of the parallels there and some of the things I went through and the lessons I learned, and I'm going to apply them to my new situation. But here's my new situation. Now, I'm at the point of my life reset where I am so desperately trying to get back to self-employment. I ended up not only going through divorce, but getting laid off from my job, which was in digital marketing at the time. And so this was a very hard situation. This was a very rough series of circumstances. I ended up getting laid off from my job in the middle of the divorce and went from earning a certain amount to earning less than half that much at my side job that I had. I literally had two jobs because I had one job just to help pay for the lawyer. that became the second side job, became my only job. I ended up going to work for them full time as a manager, basically a manager at a restaurant. Does not pay good money. I am so grateful to this company for giving me this amazing job, for giving me amazing opportunity. Like, they are such amazing people. This has nothing to do with me complaining about them or complaining about the workplace or anything. It's just that this is not where I want to be. Now that I've survived the divorce, right? I am to a point where it's like, it's time to start rebuilding my life. It's time to start getting back on track for my life, like what I want to do with it, right? So it's time to start rebuilding it. So I ended up, like I said, working for this restaurant full-time as a manager. And now I'm working on building my side hustles. This YouTube channel is one of the side hustles. I plan to build the audience here and maybe earn ad revenue and stuff like that, right? Also maybe sell a book. I'm writing a book. I may sell a book through this channel. So I'm planning to have revenue come through here. I have other YouTube channels too. I'm a digital marketer. It's my trade. But it takes a while, right? And I'm going to be honest. Right now I'm feeling like I did in my divorce. Every time I go to work at the restaurant, I'm starting to feel like, oh my God, like I don't want to do this anymore. This feels like such a grind. This is so miserable. Why does it feel miserable? Is it because the job just sucks and everyone's awful? No. It has nothing to do with that. And this is important to clarify. Like, sometimes in life, we might be in a situation, and maybe the situation isn't objectively terrible, but we feel terrible in that situation. And it might be a sign that it's time to leave it. But also sometimes in life, we cannot just jump headfirst, like out of one thing into another. Because like for me, I literally have bills to pay, have to have money coming in. My own business isn't making enough money yet for me to leave the restaurant. So it kind of creates this frustrating in between where I kind of feel like, oh my God, this feels like it's taking forever. It feels like I'm never going to get out of here and get back to self-employment. Now I want to talk through this a little bit, and I want to kind of compare this to what happened with my divorce situation, because I felt the exact same in my divorce situation, but now that is all behind me. I actually went through that process and got it finished. So what are the lessons I learned? What did I deploy to do that? I can deploy those same lessons in this situation, help me, get out of it, get to the next chapter. By the way, now that we're partway through this video, before I get into this and actually give you these steps and stuff, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button. It would mean the world to me, and it would help me to grow my channel. So thank you so much for that. All right. Now, here is the thing. When I was in my divorce, it did feel like nothing was ever going to resolve. It felt like it was going on forever, and it felt like there was no end to it. So what I did was, first of all, I had to remind myself that I need a plan and I need to move forward with that plan. And I did. I adopted the plan. I was moving forward with the plan. And, I had the plan for the divorce. I had the plan to pay for the lawyer. I had a strict budget to make sure I had money for everything I needed, right? And I had my life set up to succeed while going through that very difficult time. Now, it was also true that didn't necessarily, like, that helped mechanically, and it helped me to understand that there was a way out. But I also knew that there was just going to be a lot of just trudging through it, just pure miserable trudging. Like, you can make a plan to walk all the way across the muddy, terrible, ice cold, miserable valley to get to the other side, which is paradise, but you're still going to have to trudge through the mud to get there. There's just no two ways around it. And sometimes that's how it is, friends. One thing that we can take to heart is that we are moving forward with a purpose when we do have a plan, and when we have a plan for the other side. And if we're moving that direction, this is going to give us fuel, hope, belief that we can get there. And we must have that. We must have hope. If you do not cultivate hope for yourself, you're going to feel like all is lost, and you may stay in that awful limbo forever. I'm surrounded by people where I work at this restaurant who I think are living in a limbo hell, who have no plan to escape it. They're not doing anything to escape it, right? For me, at least, I do have hope. When I was going through my divorce, I had hope. I had, a plan to get a lawyer. I had a plan to file the divorce. I had a plan to get out of it, and I was working on that plan. Now I have a plan to get out of this job, and I'm working on the plan. I have a plan. I've got YouTube channels going. I've got side hustle stuff going. I have the plan going. It just feels like it's taking a long time. But imagine how existentially dreadful it feels to not have a plan, to not see a way out. I feel like a lot of people live there, but I do not want that for you. I want you to have a plan. I want you to have a way out. I want you to look at your situation that's really hard for you and think to yourself, this is going to be temporary. Even though it sucks right now, I do have a plan. I have a way to get out of this. I have hope I can get out of this. And here's the thing. we can only have hope if we truly believe something is possible, okay? That's the only way. So we need to cultivate that by making a plan and having a way out that we see and that we believe is possible. And if you don't have that yet, I would encourage you to spend time making that plan, brainstorming a way to get out of your situation, to escape, to go to the next chapter, okay? In fact, if you want a little bit of inspiration, I have a free ebook that I give away. It's called The Life Reset Framework, 9 Steps to Begin Again. It is my 9-step life reset framework, the exact framework that I have used to navigate 2 different life resets. I've realized that I have a formula to it, and I just give this away for free because I want to help other people in this journey. That's why I started this channel. So make sure you download that. It's available for free, links in the description. But that's one part of it. But what do you do about the long, miserable trudge? Well, you have to think of it as a journey, I think. I really think this is the truth, because this is what I do. This is what I have done, and I think this is the only way to deal with and conceptualize sort of the dreadful nature of this process of just trudging through the long mud pit to get to where you're going, right? Here it is. I think of it like a journey, and I think to myself, there is light at the end of the tunnel. I will get there. I just have to keep on going and keep on going. And every day while I'm doing kind of like the miserable things I need to do that I don't want to do along the journey, like right now, it's like, dealing with customers who are grumpy and awful. Not all of them are that way, but some of them are, friends. Dealing with employees who are grumpy and hate their job, and they try to argue with me about things because I'm a manager and I'm just trying to make the place run, and I'm just trying to delegate, but like people want to argue and things like that. There's just so much needless drama. And then also just constantly dealing with things like the restaurant is just constantly running out of things. They're constant. Like today, we were literally out of buttermilk to make the ranch dressing, had to go get buttermilk, are literally out of gallon containers for tea, having to sell gallons of tea by filling up a bunch of large cups. It's just the restaurant industry is so frustrating for so little overhead, for getting paid so little an hour to have to deal with it. It's such a frustrating business to be in. And here's the thing. I am passionate about hospitality. I am passionate about food to a point, but there's a point to where I just don't believe in this business. This is not the business I want my soul to commit to. So there's an element of it that feels pointless to me to have to go through all that. And so it can be so excruciating to go through it. Once again, not ungrateful. I'm just telling the truth. I'm just saying how it is. So making it a journey every day also means making sure that you make the most best of it you can without burning out. Okay. So it is in my nature, really, it's in my nature as a human, as a type 3 Enneagram, to try to achieve success to the best degree possible at everything I set my hands to. But this gets really toxic really quick if I'm in situations I don't fully believe in with my soul. Because what I want to do is come into situations I really care about and want to treat them like I care. And I want to use the full force of my soul to do it. But if I do that in situations that I don't believe in, it's impossible, first of all. Secondly, it will literally drain me so much. So what I have to do is I kind of have to just do the best I can. Today, I thought to myself constantly, I was thinking, Josh, don't burn yourself out. Just show up. Just show up for every task. Every time you ring up a customer, every time a customer is rude to you, every time you have to make a sandwich, every time you have to cook chicken, every time you are doing a thing. You know what? I know you want to put your heart and soul into something. I know so bad that you want to get on, your work, and I know you want to give your best. I know you believe so much that you can make your work amazing and you can do so good at the things you want to achieve and accomplish. But I also know that right now you're doing this. And if you can't have hope that you're going to get past this feels impossible right now, and it feels like it's crushing you. You are going to get past it. There is hope. You also need to understand that you should not burn yourself out. You are going to have to show up less than you're capable of showing up, because there's a part of you that needs to protect yourself, but there's also a part of you that needs to understand that this is a temporary thing. It's too difficult to show up to this thing wholehearted every time. Do the best you can in the moment, man. Do the very best you can in the moment. Don't overthink it. Just show up and do your best, even if it's not the best. And that is okay. And sometimes it's a survival technique because you just got to get through it, man. And I hate to say that I hate to say that anyone would ever feel that way or think that way about a job, but it's the truth. And you know what I'm talking about if you've been there. If you've been through a life reset, you know that there are situations in this life that you have to go through, that you have to do, that you do not want to do. But we have to show up and do them anyway, because that is the ladder we're using to climb out of the hole. But here's the crazy part, is that it's all for nothing if we don't have a plan, and we don't have hope, and we don't have a goal getting ourselves out of it. So it's so important that we make those plans. But then we need to, practice some kind of like self-regulation so that we don't totally burn out on things we don't care about, but that we can also show up enough to get through them and just make it happen. Don't be a perfectionist. Always seek to do the best you can in the moment, but seek to preserve enough of your energy that you stay okay. This is so important. Like, put your gas mask on before you try to help others. Do not destroy yourself over a situation that is just sucking life out of you, right? That is so important to do. And another thing to do is try to find some joy while you're going through it. Like, I'll put on music I like since I'm the manager, I can choose what the music is. So I'll put on music I like in the kitchen. I'll put on whatever music I feel like. I will listen to positive podcasts in my ear. I will do everything I can to try to bring positivity, try to bring some happiness into my life. I'll take little micro breaks where I can just kind of like, sometimes I need to do it, man. Sometimes I need to like refocus my mind and just remember you're doing this for a reason. This is not forever. This is just a thing you have to do right now because you have a plan to get yourself to the next chapter. And this is important for that plan, right? And I just try to, and then I think, keep it together, Josh, you can do this, right? And so I have to talk myself through it. Sometimes it gets so frustrating that I have to treat it like that, right? So that's another thing, is just try to find some joy in it, moment to moment, and try to find some small ways to like keep feeding yourself and nourishing and nurturing yourself as you go through it, and you will get through it. It is not forever. Just know that you will reach that goal if you keep just taking the steps. And I know they might be hard and excruciating, but it is possible and you can do it. So friends, there you go. That is how you deal with being in a situation and wanting so bad to move to the next chapter, but then dealing with the here and now. And even though it sucks, we can deal with it. And that is how you make it happen. So thank you so much for coming back to the Life Reset Collective. Hit that subscribe button if this is a channel that you think you might resonate with. If you're going through a life reset, I would love to help you. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, and drop a comment for me. Thank you so much for coming to this video. I hope you come back again in the future. I will see you awesome people on the next one.